Phoebe Plummer, who is one of the 16, was going to read this statement. She has had to leave, so I'm going to read this statement on her behalf. I'm Amy Pritchard. I was jailed in March 23 for using the words climate change and fuel poverty in court. I was jailed again last year after the same judge, Judge Reed, threatened the jury with criminal charges if they applied their conscience to the case. But from now, I'm Phoebe Plummer. Today, the Court of Appeal has passed judgment on the sentences of 16 people aged between 22 and 78 who were jailed for a combined 41 years for taking non-violent direct action against the oil industry. I am one of the 16. I was jailed for 2 years for throwing soup at the glass covering Van Gogh's sunflowers. My sentence was upheld. The judge at the Crown Court had said that there was no difference between throwing soup at the glass of a painting than throwing soup at a person. The Court of Appeal here seems to have agreed with him. There should have been 17 of us. 2 years ago, one of the tunnellers group, Xavi, who was 22, took his own life following a period in jail. And today the Court of Appeal makes no mention of him. There were some minor reductions to the sentences of the Whole Truth 5. Roger's sentence is down from 5 years to 4 years. Daniel and Lou's from 4 years to 3 years. Cressy and Lucia down to 30 months from 4 years. But let's be clear what that means. These fucking nuts sentences followed hot on the heels of Lord Walney's report calling for opponents of the oil and arm industries to be treated like organised criminals. This is hardly surprising coming from Walney, given that he's a paid lobbyist for the oil and arm industries. What is surprising is that the government presented his recommendations as independent and that they were acted upon. Walney has finally been dumped by the government on Valentine's Day this year. There must now be an investigation into how an oil and arms lobbyist was able to corrupt our country's legal system so far with so little accountability, and how others, such as Policy Exchange, continue to do so. For clarity, this is what the Court of Appeal has decided this morning. The Whole Truth 5, Roger Hallam, down from 5 years to 4 years. Daniel and Lou, from 4 years to 3 years. Cressy and Lucia, from 4 years to 30 months. The Sunflowers case, appeal dismissed. The Gantry 5, Gay Delap, down from 20 months to 18 months. All other people dismissed. And tunnellers, appeals dismissed. Among the principles established by the court today was their ruling that judges should disregard the UN statements that sentences of this length are not appropriate in a democracy, and they are a violation of Britain's international law obligations under the Aarhus Convention. With this judgment, the Court of Appeal here makes its priorities clear: protecting corporations that profit from destruction at the expense of ordinary people acting to stop climate breakdown. Only yesterday, it was reported again how oil barons are using the threat of billion-dollar lawsuits to stop countries phasing out fossil fuels. The law has been instrumentalized to sponsor mass death. Our democracy is being sold off to the highest bidder. Our courts have been corrupted by the oil and arms industries and are continuing to jail good people for telling the truth, for resisting genocide in Palestine, and for resisting the continued extraction and burning of oil, gas and coal. This is justice bent to serve power instead of ordinary people. If Lady Justice Carr thinks that these sentences will act as a deterrent, then she is wrong. Already we are coming together in our thousands to resist the jailing of political prisoners and to resist the corruption of our courts. Now is the time to join us, to act for freedom, our future, and for the liberty of our political prisoners.